Open the door of a front-loading washing machine and everything may look clean. The stainless steel drum shines, the glass is clear, there may not be a single dirty sock inside. But grab the gray rubber seal at the bottom, pull it toward you, and look deep inside that fold. If you see black dots, slippery brown residue, trapped hair, or something that looks like wet coffee grounds, your washing machine may be hiding the dirtiest part of every laundry cycle inches away from your clean clothes. That hidden buildup is one reason towels can come out smelling stale even after a full wash. It is why a machine may smell fresh while it is running but release a damp, sour odor when the door has been closed for a few hours. And because the contamination sits behind a flexible rubber lip, running another normal load often does almost nothing to remove it. So today we are going to expose the entire seal. Pour ordinary 3% hydrogen peroxide onto the black buildup and watch what actually happens. You will see where the foam comes from, what the bubbles do and do not prove, how to clean the fold without damaging the gasket, and the small habit that matters more than any cleaner if you want the mold to stay away. But before the bottle opens, there is one rule that matters more than the result. Use only ordinary household hydrogen peroxide labeled 3%. Do not use industrial, food-grade, hair developer, or high-concentration peroxide. Wear gloves, protect your eyes, ventilate the room, and keep children and pets away. Most importantly, never combine peroxide with bleach, vinegar, ammonia, or any other cleaner. If bleach or another product was recently used in the washer, rinse the machine thoroughly and do this on a different day. More chemistry is not better chemistry. There is one more check people skip. Read the care instructions for your exact washer. Manufacturers do not all recommend the same product for their rubber gaskets. Some specify diluted chlorine bleach, some specify oxygen-based cleaner, and some want only a mild detergent or an approved washer cleaning product. If your manual warns against peroxide, follow the manual. If it does not mention peroxide, test a small hidden section first. A viral cleaning trick is not worth replacing a watertight door seal. Now empty the drum completely. No towels, no forgotten shirt, no detergent pod. Turn the machine off and unplug it if the plug is safely accessible. Put an old white towel on the floor below the door because the bottom of the gasket can hold more water than it appears to. Then slowly pull back the rubber lip at the 6 o'clock position. This is normally where the reveal happens. The bottom of the seal is a collection point. Water runs down, lint settles there, hair wraps around the drainage openings. Detergent, body oils, fabric softener, skin cells, and dirt can remain in a thin, wet film. The door closes, light disappears, airflow stops, and the fold stays damp. That does not automatically mean every black mark is the same species of mold. Some of it may be mildew, pigmented fungal growth, bacterial biofilm, detergent residue, or staining trapped in the rubber. You cannot reliably identify it by color alone, but if it is visible, slimy, and smells musty, it needs to be removed rather than named. Before adding peroxide, take out the loose material. Use a dry paper towel or disposable cloth to lift away hair, lint, coins, buttons, pet fur, and any thick sludge you can remove without spreading it. Check the little drain holes at the bottom of the gasket. Do not stab them with a knife or metal tool. A cotton swab, a soft brush, or the corner of a cloth is enough. The purpose is to uncover the surface, not puncture the seal. This first dry wipe changes the entire experiment. Hydrogen peroxide can react with organic material, but a cleaner cannot work efficiently through a wall of wet lint and detergent paste. The dramatic foam may appear on top while the material underneath remains attached. Removing the loose soil first allows the liquid to reach the actual rubber and allows your brush to do real work later. Now look closely at the black area before treatment. Take a photo if you want an honest before and after comparison. Notice whether the rubber is simply stained or whether there is material sitting on its surface. Surface buildup may smear when touched with a cotton swab. Permanent discoloration will not. Also inspect the seal for cracks, tears, stretched sections, or a loose edge. If the rubber is damaged, stop cleaning and arrange a repair. A torn gasket can leak, and no amount of peroxide can rebuild rubber. With the area exposed and the loose debris removed, apply a small amount of 3% hydrogen peroxide directly to the black buildup. Do not flood the entire machine. Do not fill the gasket like a bowl. Use enough to wet the affected surface while keeping the liquid under control. A squeeze bottle, a peroxide dampened cloth, or a small spray bottle reserved only for peroxide can make the application easier. Keep the original product bottle nearby so you do not forget what is in the sprayer, and never store peroxide in an unmarked container. Within seconds, you may see tiny bubbles form around the darkest residue. In some areas, the liquid may turn into a white foam. This is the moment that looks like proof the mold is being destroyed. But watch carefully, because the bubbles tell a more interesting story. Hydrogen peroxide is made from hydrogen and oxygen. It naturally breaks down into water and oxygen gas. That breakdown speeds up when peroxide meets certain enzymes, metals, and contaminants. Catalase, an enzyme found in many living organisms, can rapidly split peroxide and release oxygen. That escaping gas creates the bubbles you see. So the fizz confirms that the peroxide is decomposing on a reactive surface. It does not, by itself, confirm that every mold spore has been killed or that the gasket is clean. In fact, a heavily soiled area can sometimes foam more than a lightly stained one because there is simply more reactive material present. The most dramatic fizz is not automatically the best cleaning result. And when the bubbles stop, the job is not finished. The material that caused the reaction may still be attached to the rubber. Even dead mold and loosened biofilm should be physically removed, because residue can still smell, irritate sensitive people, and provide a rough surface where new buildup holds moisture. Let the peroxide remain only as long as the product label and your washer instructions permit. Do not invent an overnight soak. Do not close the door with peroxide trapped inside and walk away. Longer exposure is not automatically safer or more effective, especially on a flexible gasket whose exact rubber formulation you may not know. Keep the surface wet for the permitted time, remain in the room, and then begin the part that creates the real before and after result, mechanical removal. Use a soft toothbrush, a soft nylon detailing brush, or a folded microfiber cloth. Pull the gasket open with one hand and scrub gently with the other. Work in short sections, following the curve of the seal. Pay special attention to the deepest channel at the bottom and to the area around the drain holes. You are trying to lift the film, not sand the rubber. If the brush bends slightly, that is enough pressure. If the gasket stretches, twists, or pulls away from the machine, you are pressing too hard. After several passes, wipe the section with a clean, damp cloth. This is where the difference becomes obvious. What looked like a permanent black patch may transfer to the cloth as gray-brown residue. The rubber underneath may appear several shades lighter. The musty odor may weaken immediately. If the cloth comes away dirty, turn to a clean section before wiping again. Otherwise, you are painting the loosened residue around the seal. Continue around the entire circumference, not only the patch that appeared in the thumbnail. Check the top, sides, and the hidden inner channel closest to the drum. The bottom usually looks worst, but moisture and residue can travel. Each time you find buildup, wet it carefully, allow the appropriate contact time, brush gently, and wipe it away. Replace paper towels or rinse reusable cloths frequently. Do not return a dirty cloth to a clean section. If a stubborn patch remains after one controlled treatment, do not immediately reach for a second chemical. Rinse the area with clean water, wipe it dry, and inspect it under bright light. Rub the mark with a damp white cloth. If nothing transfers, the remaining darkness may be staining within the rubber rather than removable growth on the surface. Mold pigments can leave cosmetic discoloration even after the material has been removed. A gasket does not have to look factory new to be cleaner, and pouring stronger chemicals onto a permanent stain can damage the seal without improving hygiene. If material still transfers, repeat the same gentle process once rather than increasing the concentration. 3% means 3%. More concentrated peroxide can burn skin and eyes and can be much more hazardous to handle. The brown drugstore bottle is not weak because it lacks power. It is diluted because concentration changes the risk. When the visible residue has been lifted, rinse the gasket thoroughly with a cloth dampened in clean water. Wipe the fold several times to remove loosened debris and remaining cleaner. Rinse the brush separately, Then dry every part of the gasket with a fresh towel, especially the bottom channel and the drainage openings. This drying step may look less exciting than the bubbles, but it is the most important part of the entire process. Mold needs moisture. The seal provides a shaded pocket, but it is the persistent water film that allows the problem to return. If you clean the gasket perfectly and then leave it wet behind a closed door, you have restored the same environment that produced the buildup. Chemistry can reduce what is there today. Drying changes what can grow tomorrow. Now check the inside of the door glass. A curved front loader door directs water back toward the drum, but detergent film and lint can collect around its lower edge. Wipe the glass and the plastic or metal rim where it meets the gasket. If that surface remains dirty, closing the door can press contamination back against the seal you just cleaned. Next, inspect the detergent drawer. Pull it out according to the manual and look underneath the inserts, behind the softener compartment, and inside the drawer cavity. If you see pink film, black dots, or hardened detergent, clean those components using the manufacturer's directions. Too much detergent and fabric softener can leave residue throughout the water path, and cleaning only the visible gasket will not solve an odor whose source is farther inside the machine. The drain pump filter is another hiding place. On many front loaders, it sits behind a small panel near the floor. Do not open it blindly. The compartment can release a surprising amount of water, and the procedure differs by model. Follow the manual, use the emergency drain hose if your machine has one, place a shallow tray and towels underneath, and make sure the filter is reinstalled tightly. A clogged filter can hold lint, hair, coins, and stale water, creating odor that travels into the drum. Once the hand cleaning is finished and every cloth has been removed, reconnect the machine. Run the washer's empty rinse or manufacturer-recommended tub clean cycle. Use no clothing. Add only the cleaning products specified for that cycle in the manual. Do not add bleach, vinegar, or another cleaner on top of peroxide residue. If there is any doubt that the gasket has been rinsed completely, run an empty water rinse first. The goal is to flush loosened material away, not stage a chemistry experiment inside an appliance. When the cycle ends, open the door and inspect the seal again. Wipe out any residue that is collected at the bottom. Smell the drum from a normal distance. Do not put your face inside it. The odor should be neutral or noticeably reduced. If the sour smell remains strong, the gasket may not be the only source. The dispenser, pump filter, drain hose, or space around the outer tub may require maintenance or professional service. For a practical final check, wash 2 plain light-colored towels without fabric softener and dry them immediately. Do not use fragrance beads to hide the result. Smell the towels only after they are fully dry. Damp fabric can have a temporary wet odor, but a clean, dry towel should not carry the same sour smell that came from the machine. Also, inspect it for dark flakes. If odor or debris returns after the gasket, drawer, filter, and maintenance cycle have all been addressed, stop repeating chemical treatments. That pattern suggests residue may be sitting in an inaccessible hose or behind the drum, where a qualified appliance technician can reach it more safely than you can. This is also the point where the title of this video needs an honest answer. What happens when 3% hydrogen peroxide touches black buildup inside a washer seal? It may bubble as it decomposes. It may help loosen surface film and reduce some microorganisms. It may lighten certain organic stains. But peroxide does not pull debris out of the fold by itself, and foam is not a certificate of sterilization. The transformation comes from a sequence. Expose the hidden area, remove loose soil, apply a compatible cleaner, allow the correct contact time, scrub gently, wipe away the material, rinse, and dry. Research on hydrogen peroxide shows that it can reduce fungi under the right concentration, exposure, and surface conditions. But those conditions matter. A laboratory result on a clean test surface is not identical to an old washer gasket covered with detergent, body oil, lint, and biofilm. Organic soil can consume peroxide as it reacts. Crevices protect residue. Different fungi respond differently. That is why the safest promise is not that one pour kills everything. The practical promise is that controlled peroxide treatment, combined with physical cleaning and moisture control, can help restore a compatible gasket and reveal how much contamination was hiding there. There is another reason not to obsess over the word black. Black growth is not automatically the notorious species people fear, and color cannot identify risk. Many organisms and ordinary residues can appear dark inside a washer. Routine home mold testing is usually unnecessary for a small visible patch because the action remains the same. Avoid exposure, remove the material safely, clean the surface, dry it, and stop the moisture condition that allowed it to grow. If you have asthma, a mold allergy, chronic lung disease, or a weakened immune system, do not lean into a contaminated gasket and scrub it aggressively. Ask someone else to handle the cleaning or seek professional guidance. Anyone cleaning visible mold should minimize exposure, use gloves and eye protection, ventilate the area, and avoid touching the material with bare skin. If the contamination is extensive, keeps returning rapidly, or seems to extend behind the accessible seal, service may be the better choice. Now let us stop it from returning. First, remove wet laundry as soon as the cycle ends. A load left inside for hours keeps the drum and gasket humid and presses damp fabric against the seal. Even if you plan to dry the clothes later, taking them out promptly gives the washer a chance to release moisture. Second, wipe the gasket at the end of the wash day. You do not need a deep chemical cleaning after every load. A 10-second pass with a dry cloth around the lower fold can remove the water, hair, and lint before they become a wet film. Pull the lip back, wipe the 6 o'clock channel, and check that the small drain openings are clear. Third, leave the washer door and detergent drawer slightly open between uses when it is safe to do so. Air movement helps the trapped water evaporate. But this advice comes with an important warning. An open front loader can be dangerous around small children or pets. Never allow a child to climb into the drum, and use the machine's child safety guidance. If leaving the door open is unsafe in your home, dry the gasket manually and use any ventilation feature provided by the manufacturer. Fourth, measure high-efficiency detergent instead of pouring by eye. More soap does not create cleaner clothing. Too much detergent may fail to rinse away, leaving a sticky film that traps soil and feeds odor. The correct amount depends on the product, load size, water hardness, and soil level, so follow both the detergent label and washer instructions. If clothes feel slick or the drum produces excessive suds, overdosing may be part of the problem. Fifth, use fabric softener carefully. Liquid softener is designed to leave a coating on fibers. Excess product can also contribute to residue in the dispenser and washer. If you use it, stay within the marked line and clean the compartment regularly. Never pour softener directly into the gasket or drum unless the manual explicitly allows it. Sixth, run the machine's tub clean, self-clean, or maintenance cycle at the interval recommended for your model. Many manufacturers suggest about once a month, but your machine may track cycles and display a reminder. An empty maintenance cycle reaches internal surfaces that your hand cannot. It does not replace wiping the gasket, because a flexible fold can shield debris from moving water, but the two methods work together. Seventh, inspect the pump filter and dispenser on a schedule. Put a reminder on the first weekend of the month. The exact interval and procedure should come from the manual. Maintenance is easier when you remove a little residue regularly than when you wait for the entire laundry room to smell musty. And finally, look at the condition of the rubber itself. If the seal remains black after careful cleaning but no material transfers and no odor returns, you may be seeing a cosmetic stain. If the rubber is cracked, permanently slimy, warped, leaking, or contaminated deep inside an inaccessible cavity, replacement may be the honest solution. A new gasket costs more than a bottle of peroxide, but repeatedly attacking damaged rubber with stronger cleaners can cost even more when the washer leaks onto the floor. The most surprising lesson is that the bottle is not the hero of this story. The bottle creates the visual moment. It bubbles, lifts some residue, and makes hidden contamination impossible to ignore. But the real hero is removal followed by dryness. If the dirty material stays inside the fold, it has not been cleaned. If the fold stays wet after cleaning, the conditions have not changed. So the next time supposedly clean towels come out with a damp basement smell, do not immediately add more fragrance, more detergent, or another laundry pod. Open the washer, pull back the rubber seal. Check the bottom channel, the drain holes, the door glass, the dispenser, and the filter. The source may be sitting where a normal cycle cannot reach. And if you decide to use hydrogen peroxide, remember the complete method. 3% only. Check the manual. Test a hidden spot. Never mix cleaners. Remove the loose debris first. Apply a controlled amount. Do not mistake bubbles for proof. Scrub gently. Wipe the material away. Rinse thoroughly. Run the correct empty maintenance cycle. Then dry the gasket and keep it dry between wash days. That is what actually happens when peroxide meets the black mold hiding inside a washer seal. The foam gets your attention. The cloth shows you what was really there. And the dry gasket is what determines whether you will have to do it all again next month.